So hey guys, I just basically wanted to do a quick overview of what I've been experiencing. So yeah, quick summary up to now is I have H. pylori. I've had it for, let's say, 18 plus months. I got it in 2019, that December. Basically, this is the point of the video. It's to talk about my endoscopy. Is that how you call it? Endoscopy. So basically with that, I did it today, literally today. So scary. But basically what happened was I was meant to get an endoscopy in March. I think it was March this year, but because of COVID I wasn't able to. I was meant to get it, so I was rescheduled to do it this late, like maybe June, but no one, the GP never followed up. I had to call them, chase them, and finally I was able to land into a GP that actually cared about my case, and he pressured, I guess, a hospital to get me an endoscope appointment. So I was meant to go like 2 weeks ago, but I was scared and I kind of didn't go. But I managed to go today because I thought, why not? You know, it's just the thought of having to have something, I guess, you have to swallow something almost, and it has to go to your stomach. And with anyone that's had H. pylori, I mean, you find it hard to even swallow food. So imagine a tube that's this big or camera that's this big has to go down there. So yeah, I was finally, I guess, convinced, and I spoke to my naturopath who I've been working with since, you could say, this November, like December time, and she advised me that it's a good idea just to rule out anything, any concerns, because from the research I've done, H. pylori can cause cancers, stomach cancers, and it's the number one cause of stomach cancer. So you can imagine how scared I am. Like, yeah. So basically, I went there. It was a bit early. Just, casual thing. You go in, you speak to them, then they make you wait in a waiting room, and they start asking you all sorts of questions. And they basically asked me if I wanted to get the spray, so to numb the throat, or if I wanted to get the sedation. So I got the sedation here, you can see bruised all over. And they're like, oh, so has someone explained to you what these things are? I was like, no. She's like, how comes? I said, because I didn't want to know what I had to expect, because it's so terrifying as it is to even be here. And she basically said that the spray, of course, just numbs your throat, and the sedation puts you in almost like you're in a sleep state. So I said, oh yeah, of course I want that, I want to be awake. So as I'm waiting there was a guy this was what I thought was funny, because there was this guy sitting next to me, and they asked him the same questions they were asking me, and basically they asked him, is this your first time? He's like, no, this is my second time. And they asked him, would you like to have the numbing spray, or would you like to have a sedation? And he said, no, please, the sedation. Last time I thought it would be okay, that the numbing thing was nothing. I couldn't even do it. I was like, oh my god, bless his soul. I'm so happy that I chose the sedation. I was like, give me all your drugs, I don't care. So then they called me, and then we had to go to the room that they were going to do that in. Sorry, I have pains. So once we went into the room, I was so nervous. I mean, so nervous. I was so scared. I think for me, it was just, I guess, because I've had this for more than 18 plus months. The pain almost is just unexplainable. You can't enjoy anything, not really. As in, your friends ask you to go out, you go out, but you can't really eat anything. You're always in a almost like in a limbo, you know. It's just a horrible feeling, right? And I guess for me it was like, oh, that all hit me, and it also hit me because my dad couldn't be there. Yeah. Um, so I went into the room, and then they sit you down in one of those, you know, like medical beds. And one of the doctors started speaking to me, and she was really sweet. She was saying, oh, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm okay, I'm a bit scared. And then I just started crying, and she's like, you hate to cry, don't worry, there's like 3 doctors here, we'll all look after you, and they have like a lot of nurses here, everything will be fine. But I guess for me, the reason why I was crying, like I said, it's been such a long time for someone to actually look at what's wrong with me, and it's been a daily struggle because everything I used to do before has become a huge challenge. You know, just the smallest task would take forever just to do. I mean, like I said, sometimes it would take me 2 hours to just freaking eat. And then after that, I'll feel so tired, it will take me another 2 hours to feel more or less okay, because my body's taking forever to even digest that food because I'm not creating the enzymes to digest the food. So it just felt surreal, and just knowing that my dad wasn't going to be there, you know, because yeah, he fortunately passed away because of COVID this year. And yeah, so I just felt really sad, but they were really helpful. They were really nice. I guess I haven't experienced that in a long time with doctors anyway, and I guess I was also very scared because my dad passed away in that hospital himself. And one of the questions that the nurse asked me in the waiting room where I had to wait was, if needed to, would you be okay to do a blood transplant, like a transplant or whatever they call it? And I said no, because he passed away. One of the reasons was well that he passed away, but I didn't say it was, but I theorized that that could be because he had sepsis, and it's got to do with his blood. But the last time he went to hospital before he passed away, so say September, he had none of those issues. They checked and he had none of those issues. And then somehow when he went to, anyways, a story for another time. So yeah, I just basically was very skeptical, and that all those three thoughts coming into mind. But yeah, they were really, really lovely. I guess they calmed me down, and then one of the doctors gave me the spray for the It was actually so horrible. So basically, he said it would taste like bananas. He put it and he sprayed it. It was almost like this whole huge cylinder that went. I was like, He sprayed it. It numbed my whole throat, my tongue, my lip. It was terrible. It was terrible. I was there. I asked the doctor, the lady that spoke to me first, and she's like, I'm like, is it meant to be? No, she's like, don't worry, it's meant to feel that way. It's meant to. It tastes like banana, doesn't it? I'm like, yeah. It was. I guess because you're so nervous as well, like you don't realize what your body becomes confused, right? Anyway, yeah, that happened, and she said you would feel that type of way. You would feel like your throat is swollen, but it's okay. And then I started speaking to another lady who's a nurse. Who was a nurse there, and she said, "Don't worry, you'll be fine. You know, it's okay. We've got you. We just need you to lay back." Because the chair was like this, is inclined, and my body was here. I was so scared to even. I was like, because those who have had H. pylori know that you basically can't lay back. Laying back is not something you do, or you start to get a lot of juices pouring out from your stomach because your stomach bowel doesn't actually close, which is what tends to happen when you have H. pylori. And so yeah, so I leaned back, she spoke to me nicely, and she told me to go to my left side. The reason why I say left side, I think is because the way your stomach is formed. So if you sit to your left, juices won't spill out into your lungs and cause any damage. This is why people that have H. pylori tend to sleep on their left side, because it's the most comfortable way to sleep. And they put a pillow behind me, they put this little thing in your mouth to open your mouth. And then, I can't remember, that's it, that's what happened. And then they put the sedation. Once they put the sedation, I don't know what happened. The woman was speaking to me the whole time. She says, throughout this whole procedure, don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. All you need to focus on is breathing. And my brain usually is like so scared. She's like, breathing, breathing. And my brain was like, oh, breathing. It was so slow. And then, I don't know how they managed to put it in, they put it in. I feel like I was taking years to breathe. It was 5 minutes. That's how long the procedure was. It was 5 minutes. And it felt like 2 seconds. I was just there, and the woman was just telling me to breathe. It's fine, just breathe in and out. And then before I knew it, it was over. I don't know what happened, but if anyone has experienced it, or you know someone that is experiencing that, I would advise them to definitely get sedation, because I didn't feel anything, and yeah, it was actually not as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, I still have some sort throat pain, and then obviously after the procedure's done, they take you back in the bed, and you have to stay there for a while just to see you recover a bit, because it makes you feel like you're drunk almost. That's how the doctor described you will feel. So yeah, I stayed there for a while, and I've had to stay back home resting with my mum, who's looking after me for at least 24 hours, and then I'm gonna get the results in 2 weeks. So hopefully things are okay. From what the nurse saw, when I asked her once we left the procedure, after I'd rested a bit, she said that there's mild gastritis, which is common when you have H. pylori. But the rest, they took 4 samples from my stomach, meaning they took 4 samples from different areas. And from that, they're gonna see what I have and what's going on and why I haven't been able to eradicate H. pylori. So yeah, hopefully things go well. I'm just doing, I guess, this is my kind of vlog, just to vlog everything that I went through and what I experienced. Also, before I forget, if anyone is going to do this procedure or knows of someone's going to do this procedure, it's said that you have to, so basically, not eat 6 hours before the procedure or drink anything for 2 hours. And I didn't eat anything from the day before, say 4 p.m, or drink anything from 10:30 p.m. If you do have H. pylori or know someone that has health issues, I think just for your own sanity, it's best to try, for me anyway, that's what works for me. You don't have to do it, but for my own sanity, what I did was not have anything that same day, because I know how I am, and I know how sometimes my body can just react to just a little bit of food. So I think that's why the procedure was able to be as smooth as it was, because I didn't get no reflux or choking or whatever. And I think if someone was to have that during the procedure, it'd be more scary. So yeah, that was me. That was an overall view of what H. pylori is, what I had, the symptoms, and also my endoscopy journey. So yeah, thank you for listening. Bye.